Hey guys, it's Alexis from Shopify Rebellion, and in today's ZOWIE Esports Academy video, I'm going to be showing you how to master Kayo. The one that I normally do for A, just off rip to take A main control, is this. It's not even really a lineup, but it gets A main control. If you want one for A site, what I'll do is I'll stand in the corner of this box and I look at this brick that's like low-key a little darker than the other bricks, and I'll just line up my knife icon with that brick, and then it ends up, if I did this properly, on the A site. So it'll clear the A site. And this is usually good if you're playing against like a Vice comp or a Deadlock comp, because usually a Deadlock or a Vice is gonna sit hell or sit behind the dice box. And it's really hard if you're that player to go like this and break it if you're getting exec'd on by A main, because you're just in the open. The one that I normally do for a B exec is I'll stand just in this corner and I just aim like in the crack of this little window, and I throw that, and it actually lands up here. So if there's a sentinel playing stairs, which is a common area, or even lane, just holding the run out, they'll get suppressed and all of their util will go down. I like to do this later in the half when teams aren't expecting it, so that we can just B-rush off of my knife scanning. Defense is a little bit different. I don't like to do many off-rip knives. A strat that I like to do when I have Kayo ult is I'll play in mid, but I'll start the round by throwing my knife at A. So the way that I line it up is, if you see the little line next to the Molly icon, I put it in this little crevice right here. And then that lands over here in A main. So sometimes teams will think that I'm playing A, but I'm actually in spawn, ready to help either of the sites with my Kayo ult. I'll just run to the site and rip my Kayo ult. For B, I mean, the best knife to do for B on defense is when they're execing, just try and throw it in this corner behind them. It seems like it's easy to break, but honestly, it's really annoying to turn around and break that. Or honestly, just throwing it on this wall when teams are executing as well is super, super annoying, because they can't use any util on their exec anymore. So we'll go over a lot of my flashes in server time, so my team typically knows what flashes I'm gonna give them. And just personally, I'm not a big right-click flasher. Like, I just don't use a lot of flashes for myself like that. 90% of the time, I will use them for my teammates. So a common one that I'll do for my teammates on B, because Kayo is typically like an A player, I'll tell my teammates to go sit boathouse on B, and I'll just throw flashes like this for them, so that they can peek out of boathouse without getting full blind, because the flash will pop above them and it hits all of the people coming out lane and all the people coming out stairs. So that's like my favorite flash to do. But typically, like, I don't have a ton of flash lineups. I have some for like off rip strats. Like if we do like, oh, we'll run it down tiles, I'll line up with this and I'll throw my flash like that. But a lot of the time, Kayo flashes you have to be good at using them on the fly, because they are kind of the most difficult flash to use in that sense. Like, they're not a skybird where you can directly put where you want it to go. You have to have kind of an idea of where you want to throw stuff. But yeah, I usually go over that with my teammates so that they don't get full flash every time I'm on their screen. As far as using my Kayo ult, it kind of depends on the team we're playing, the comp we're playing. So a lot of the time, a really basic strat is to go mid to B. And the reason for that, or honestly, it doesn't have to be mid to B, but mid in general, the reason for that is it hits a lot when you go through mid. And so, for example, if they're playing an anti-Kayo setup, and what that means is like a sentinel will put their util on B and go play A, so they don't get hit by the Kayo ult, or vice versa. So if I go through mid, there's a good chance that I hit both sentinels, because I'm hitting both sides technically. So that's like a default strat that we really like to do. I'm trying to think. The times that I'll save it for retake is when we know a team is already playing retake. So for example, say I do my boat knife from earlier, and I don't scan anything. I don't see anybody. I'm like, okay, they're already playing off. They're planning for my Kayo ult, so I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna save it, and then when I start to hear them make noise on the retake. Say they start throwing flashes or they throw recon dart, then I'll rip it, and then they have nothing to actually retake the site with. I'll literally just sit in a corner right here with my Kayo ults, so I hit the most possible people that I can, and then I'll use everything else for their actual retake when my Kayo ult is over. So we save as much util as possible, use my Kayo ult, and then we just try and bunker down and just play time at that point. On defense, Kayo is really good if you're playing a comp that is good at flooding. So for example, like I said earlier, like a lot of times I'll try and flood with my teammates, I'll throw them flashes, I'll run in with them. Same on A. It doesn't really play well into like double senti. It plays better into like double duelist or double initiator because you want to be getting active, especially on defense. So like when I'm playing with Mel on A, or if I'm playing with an Omen in ranked or something, a lot of the time I'll tell them, yo, take A main control. I'm gonna give you util, I'm gonna give you pop flashes so that you can keep fighting A main and we can keep that space. Versus if you're playing a double sentinel comp, you're gonna wanna avoid doing that and you wanna bunker down on the site and hold the site. On attack, it's kind of plays the same. You wanna do more aggressive plays. So when we take A main, I'll throw this flash so my teams can take A main control. We'll take A main control, and then say I have a jet. She'll drop a smoke, dash into it, then I'll flash above her smoke so that when she comes out of the smoke, everyone's blind and she can go for kills. Same thing in mid. If we have like a jet player, we'll do kind of the same thing. She'll drop a smoke here, dash into it, I'll flash market for her. She'll peek market, everyone's full blind. So it is more aggressive. It's definitely not a chill agent to play. You're gonna wanna set your team up. That's, I think, the main purpose. Most important is the timing that you use your knife at. So for example, a lot of the time I'll be playing tree on A. Sometimes I'll use an off-rip knife, but usually I'll wait until I hear an Omen TP in this corner, which is like a common play that people do, and I'll do this. So now my A main player knows, okay, they either committed this teleport or they didn't. Sometimes Omens will fake it. So now I know. Now I've had 30 seconds left on my knife. So now I have to be really mindful of when I use my second knife. So if 30 seconds go by and they're B rushing, now I know, okay, I can either do a cross map lineup to help my team, or I can save it if they're playing off and use it for info. Like using it for info or using it for the exec. So a lot of the time, like there'll be no noise until like 30 seconds left in the round. There's no point using your knife for info at that point because they're gonna exec a site. So I'll just sit here with my knife out, and as soon as I hear anything, if I hear one footstep at 30 seconds, I'll knife this because I know all they have to do is exec a site. They have no time to do anything else. So there's no point after, I think, probably 35 seconds left in a round using your knife for info. You should just sit on it and wait until you hear something. And then at that point, if they don't hit your site, now you have something to get info on your B retake. So what I'll like to do is either, if we don't have B main control, we don't have someone flanking, I'll just do this. So it clears this corner of B main, and then we know, okay, we don't have to worry about someone sitting in B main. Or I'll do a knife for back site, because that's like the most annoying spot to clear on your B retakes. So now we know, okay, there's two people sitting back site, so now we know, okay, there's maybe only one person in this spot or one person in this spot, so we can focus on that instead. On defense, using your ults, I love to play in the middle of the map as much as possible. I'll either play market or I'll quite literally just play in spawn. That way, if they rush B, you're already ulting them, you don't even have to move. And then if they go A, you're so fast to A to ult everybody that your teammates can play on site and not worry so much about util. They can just focus on shooting their guns. All right, that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you for watching my episode of the ZOWIE Esports Academy.